Flash Gordon Park Show is an interview series geared towards preserving Houston culture. I am an ethnomusicologist, historian, DJ who uses different mediums to tell stories. I have published books, produced and directed films, and collected records from all over the world. In 2015, I directed the documentary, This Thing We Do, Houston DJ Culture Revealed, which is an introduction to the world of DJing here in the city of Houston. In 2019, I received a grant from the Houston Arts Alliance in the city of Houston to continue the efforts of documenting the diversity and history of individuals. One of those individuals is the legendary Archie Bell, soul singer from 5th Ward, Texas.
Hi everybody, we're Archie Bell in the drill, Houston, Texas. We don't only sing, but we dance just as good as we want. In Houston, we just started a new dance, and it's called the Tighten Up. Now this is the music that we tighten up with. First, we tighten up on the drum. All right now, drummer, come on now. Now tighten it up. Oh yeah, tighten up on that drum now.
Archie Bell's contribution to Houston music culture is undeniable. His impact on the world has remained viable for over 50 years. It is such an honor to sit and talk with one of the Bayou City's most prominent residents, the legendary Archie Bell.
Now everybody tighten up, come on now. I said we got a new dance now, and the show is tough. Yeah now, I said the name of the dance now.
Now, while you were in the Army, the song starts to pick up momentum, right?
Right.
You get a call from Skipper Lee who tells you it just went gold.
Right.
And now you got to try to convince everybody in your
My unit.
that you had a hit record.
Yeah.
But they didn't believe you, right?
Right.
Now, I mean, what is that like? Like knowing you got a hit, but and at the time you said you were in an accident,
Yeah.
right? You broke your leg.
Yeah, I broke my left leg, and I was in the hospital in Worms, Germany. And my medic, the one who was taking care of my nurse, was taking. His name was Beckett.
Okay.
And I was telling him, I said, that record that's playing on the transistor radio, Beckett. I said, that's my song. And he said, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You're right. You know, he didn't believe me.
Right.
And about 2 weeks later, an article came out in Overseas Weekly, the richest GI in the Army since ever. When they found out I wasn't telling them, I wasn't lying to them and everything, well, 8, 9 guys trying to get in a 4-man tent.
Right.
I had an entourage. Everywhere I go, all these guys said, no, y'all didn't believe me and everything. Well,
Now, once you started to taste this success, though, like you had at least some kind of stardom, even in the military, right? Like you were still able to move around. You said you were able to get a brand new car.
Yeah.
Can you talk about just how that changed your life a little bit?
Well, when Skipper, right after Skipper Lee had called me and told me that I had the record that went gold, I got about like a $64,000 check from Tighten Up.
Okay.
So I went down and bought me a little Javelin, American Javelin, and
yeah.
The people in my company, some little redneck captain was telling me, you can't drive this car, you have to call home and ask your mother. You get your mother position. I said, man, you crazy. I got crazy with them too. And they wanted to give me an article out 15 for talking to the officer like I did. So I had a friend that with me. He ended up being like my side man and manager and everything. I said, man, they won't let me have the car. You can have it. They said, you gonna get that car to him? I said, y'all won't let me drive it,
Right.
Well, after that week, he gave me the keys back,
Okay.
But that's what I did. But they tried to, give me an Article 15 to give me bad conduct for talking to the officer like I did. I said, I got to call back to the United States and ask my mother, can I drive? And I've been driving these vehicles right here in Germany. You know what I'm saying? And
now, Mr. Bell, like, that's an interesting situation to me, particularly here we are, 2019, and, supposedly post-racial America.
Right.
But you grew up in a time where it was definitely racism in your face 24/7.
Yeah.
And here you are, a black man, successful, a musician, an artist, even though you're in the military, creating this music, and they're still trying to hold you back and stop you from enjoying the fruits of your own labor.
Right.
Like, can you talk a little bit just about how stressful that time period was back then, just with...
Well, it was really stressful, and I was really angry, and I decided to put my anger and challenges. What I did, I put a little band together there in Germany called the Soul Sales, and we worked at this club called Johnny Keller's.
Okay.
It was a club downstairs, a black guy who got out of the military and stayed over in Germany.
Okay.
And everything, and we were doing pretty good. But when I bought the automobile and everything, everything they tried to do was hold me back.
Okay.
Jerry Lewis' son came in after I tried to get in the U.S., so they put him in. He was a white guy.
Okay.
And this guy, Crazy Guggenheim, who used to be on Jackie Gleason, they put his son in. So I went to my battalion command and protested,
Yeah.
But after I had my accident, they made me assistant to the assistant mayor clerk, so I had a lot of free time to do what I wanted.
Okay.
But because if the mayor clerk couldn't make it, the system would take over. If the system couldn't take it, I would take over.
Okay.
But
you had room to kind of be creative
around,
and do stuff. You said something interesting that I guess somebody of my age wouldn't think about it, but back then, when you were a new artist without, the internet or like all of these outlets that we have now to know who Archie Bell is, somebody could say, oh, we got Archie Bell and the Drills here tonight, and if they've never seen you in a small town in Alabama or Georgia, they would just assume that it was you taking the stage, right? And a lot of that happened during that time.
Yeah, they had 9 white boys before I got out of the army out of Nashville, Tennessee, Archie Bell and the Drills.
So they had white guys impersonating Archie Bell and the Drills.
Yeah, they did it for about maybe 6 months or a year, but when I got out, I got a chance to make it personal. And when I was in Germany, I came back overseas 3 times on a 3-day pass to record in New York, and cover some of that stuff. I did that about 3 times, and flew out of Germany on a Friday, got to New York Saturday, recorded Sunday, stayed up all night now, trip, and then you're going to record it in New York.
And you did that just to keep the name alive.
Yeah, and to record.
Just keep new.
I can't stop dancing.
Okay.
Showdown, all other stuff. I was recording that, while I was in them because.
Now, there's many different, I guess, stories about how Tighten Up ended up breaking. There's the one story about Gladys Gigi Hill. Who was a DJ along with Skipper Lee at KCOH back then. The story goes because you were telling me you wrote Dog Eat Dog, and they were trying to push that as the A-side with Tighten Up on the flip side.
Right.
And according to the legend, Gladys Gigi Hill was the one who kind of
flipped it over.
She flipped it over and said, "This is the hit. This is the song you should be playing." Because you said Skipper Lee really didn't know.
No, he
didn't know what was a hit or what wasn't a hit. He was
he did when he sent the record to Atlantic Records, they looked at it and Dog Eat Dog. New York is a dog eat dog city, so that's why they played that.
Okay.
And Skipper Lee called me and said, they playing Dog Eat Dog. I said, man, they come in German. They playing the wrong song.
Okay.
So I told them after Gigi flipped it over, they got New York to flip it over.
Okay.
200,000 copies every weekend.
Wow.
They put Tighten Up Part 2 on the other side. Took Dog Eat Dog.
Okay.
So if you find a record with on Atlantic label that Tighten Up and Dog Eat Dog, it's about $1,500.
Okay.
Mint condition, pretty good condition.
Right.